Welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is Tuesday, uh, December 7th, 2022. Let me just check on that because now I'm not so sure on that. I think it might actually be Wednesday. It is Wednesday, I'm sorry. Uh, December 7th, 2022. And this is Salcedo Paranormal. Tonight I will be covering paranormal news. Uh, and that introduction was totally out of order. So, well, hopefully the rest will go better. But anyway, um, so as always, you can find all the episodes of the show along with links to social media and other ways to contact me at the podcast page, and that is salsidoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from y'all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions, or if you have stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or from others that you trust. Happy to either read those or have you join me on the show to talk about them. And tonight, again, since I messed up that very beginning there, I'll be covering paranormal news, and tomorrow will be a book review of some kind. And also the links to the articles I'll be talking about tonight are in the stream chat, and they will be included in the episode descriptions on the podcast and YouTube feeds. So I believe that takes care of everything for now with that, and so I can get to these articles here. So I have 3 of them for tonight. And this first one is from the Epoch Times and .com, and this says 5 mysterious ancient ruins that could prove advanced civilizations existed in prehistoric times. And so this is really amazing to me. These places all around the world that have been found that seem to hint at just things happening in the past that we hadn't thought of before. The first one they mention here is the Bosnian Pyramid, and this is was apparently first discovered for what it was, which is, I guess, they're talking about just the fact that it's a pyramid, in 2005. And the only age estimate that was available at the time in 2005 was the topsoil, and that was estimated to be 12,000 years old. But that's just the soil. But there's been more work done on this area, and the stone has now been carbon dated back to 25,000 years old, which is really amazing to think about that, to think about how so often you hear about the different places around the world that have been constructed being from within the last 4 to 5 or even 3 to 5,000 years. And now there's this building here that's said to be from 25,000 years ago. That is just, that's amazing to me, because it just suggests that there's so much that we don't know about the past, and who knows how much we'll ever really find out. How much has already just crumbled back into the planet, disintegrated, just broken back down into its natural components that can't be tracked. So this pyramid wasn't found right away, partly because it has been covered in soil and vegetation, and so it was thought to be just a massive hill until the rocks were discovered beneath that soil. And so let's see here. Getting into more of the details about this. I would definitely recommend checking out these articles for the pictures. And so yeah, it mentions here that again the dating on the stone there is from, so it's 25,000 years old, which is about 20,000 years older than the Sumerian and Babylonian civilizations that were thought to be among the oldest in the world before having discovered this one. And so this is still being looked into, and of course, and talks about how. Let's see, I already covered that. Okay. So yeah, it goes into more detail about this and about how there are a lot of there's a lot of resistance to rewriting history based on these discoveries for various reasons. Some political, some to do with money and power, of course. But still amazing there. That place is 25,000 years old. That pyramid, according to this article. Just to think about that is amazing. So they go into other locations here. They talk about Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Again, another place that has amazing stonework in it, columns, and so just really, this is a neat article. It talks about another, not sure how to say this, but it talks about a place in Japan. It's known as Japan's Atlantis, which is amazing. So definitely recommend checking out this article here for more of these locations that they talk about in this article here. The last one they mentioned here is Bimini Road, which is this underwater structure that was first discovered off the coast of the Bahamas in 1968. And that's another amazing thing about some of these places is how many of them, not the ones so much in this article necessarily, but how many things can be found underwater that could possibly be from earlier civilizations. And then there's always some debate on some of these objects, including this Bimini Road, as to whether it's natural rock formations. But even if just one of these places that's underwater is something other than natural formations, that's an amazing thing. And I feel like if there's one, then there's probably many. So, neat article there with a lot more information than I can talk about or process, to be honest. But yeah, so check that one out and for yourselves there. So this next one is from space.com. And this one, the title of this one is UFOs 101. Hype, uproar, disinformation, and mystery. Then quotation marks, here we go again, it says. And this is about a course, a university course, virtual classroom lecture series that apparently talks about the history. Let's see here. History, evolution, and impacts on society of the UFO phenomenon. And I like that it talks about. It doesn't seem to just be about proving or disproving what is or what isn't real out there, but it seems to cover the entire thing from what I'm reading in this article here. As far as what they talk about in the course, it says that the course description explains that UFOs are making headlines again, and so the public response has been focused on the question of what's going on. And but yeah, I just like that this is these kind of subjects are now being at least talked about a little more in um what they call mainstream academia, at least in one way. And it seems like in a way that does include the paranormal or the weird unexplained aspects of all of this, which is the important part, I think, here. So yeah, I just want to share that article as well and go from there. But yeah, Salcedo Late Night, yes. Yep. Yeah, it's underwater weirdness, yes. Yep. It is amazing these things that they find underwater. Um that may have to be a whole show at some point, just underwater strangeness, including some of these places that I found underwater and then other things that might be there. But so hello Derek, I see you there, and everyone in the chat and the stream. Thank you for being here and listening. So, but yeah, um, it's a whole thing, and then then again, yeah, this show is not about just that. So I will stop myself before I go out too far on a tangent there. Um, so yeah, so that article, I just wanted to point that out that it's good that this is that UFOs are being brought up in somewhat of a classroom setting, which is really amazing. And I've heard of similar things here and there before. So, but it's mainly been on paranormal themed podcasts where people that have been arranging these things have been talking about it. And but this is actually from the news of this course being developed is from a very scientific, science oriented website, which is good. So, so yeah, I think that covers that. Um, that one. And I have one last article here. Uh, I think this article marks the first time I've had an article here, a news article here, that specifically covers Bigfoot. This is from WKDQ.com, and I gotta invert the colors. There we go. And this one says, curious Bigfoot video emerges from the upper Cumberland of Tennessee. So, this is neat, and just in that, it's the first time I found an article here for this news show that talks about possible a sighting of this and recording of this on video. Of course, I've covered in many shows before UFO and ghost sightings, so this is neat. And then, of course, just other mystery sightings of things that couldn't even really be described for sure. But this is the first one that's actually a Sasquatch or Bigfoot, uh, possibly being caught on camera. It has the video, I believe, so you can check it out for yourselves. And because again, videos are not my thing. But this is apparently, let's see here. Yeah, so it has the video. So just it's good to see these kind of things reported. Apparently this so it's a video but doesn't have any sound. So but so yeah, just neat that this actual media or news outlet is talking about this, and it has a little video here. So so yeah, neat thing there. Not much to go on, but still glad that we can finally say we've in these news shows we've covered all kinds of things now, including UFOs and ghosts and Bigfoot. So, but yeah, let's see here. Looking at this here, looking at the chat, checking out the the okay. So So yeah, Derek, you heard about this. Yeah, there's so everyone, I always recommend checking out the Discord, uh, because then you can check out pictures that people post about these what we're talking about. Yeah, see, I wasn't sure. I always make sure let everyone know that I am no video expert here, so I just report on the news. So, but Derek in the chat says he shares some stills from the footage, and one of the articles of the footage, and a little hard to tell, but definitely weird. So that is neat. And again, I'm just glad that we can now say that we've covered all these different topics on the news shows. So, um, and I think that's gonna do it for today. I might cover a tomorrow. I'll probably cover either a Stephen King book or maybe a Dean Koontz book, as I have not listened to any more Lovecraft since the last time I reviewed part of that book. So look forward to that tomorrow. Um, and that'll that'll be that. And then one of these weeks here soon, we will have Derek back on whenever he's ready, because love having him on, and we're going to be covering Avengers versus X-Men, which is going to be a lot of fun. Not sure if that's going to be a two-parter. I think we'll have to just start it and see how far we get into that event, and then we'll determine if it's going to be a two-part thing or not. Because there's going to be some backstory that I will have to cover, a little bit at least, before we get into even the summary of the event. Because it's it anyway. So yeah, apparently I'm easily distracted tonight. But thank you all for listening, and I will talk to you all tomorrow on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal. Take care, everyone. Thank you for listening as always.